Hello, 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 hello. It is your baby boomer, Kittee Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. So come on in the den. How is everyone this morning? I'm so happy to see that we have someone here. Yay! And I can see me on the big screen. So I'm happy. Sorry about. Okay. I did all of this before I got here. Trust me. Joan can attest to that. Yes. Joan can tell you that I readied me. That's probably why I was here on time. Thank you, Joan. And Michelle, if you're there you go. Okay. I got a lot of stuff popping up over here, and I wanted to kind of keep it subdued because I want to see the chats when it comes up. All right. First of all, welcome. Welcome, 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 everyone. I'm so happy that you're here today. We have a lot to talk about, y'all. We got notes. We got notes. Yes, we do. I'm pretty sure if you checked out the description box, you saw that we got notes. I'm glad I got here on time, John. I was here. It's just the little last minute stuff. And my black cami keeps showing up. And I don't want it to show up. Oh, well. Y'all, I have on a cami. I'm fully equipped up here. I am everywhere. Oh, Lord. Okay. See if that helps. Do I look cute again? Okay. All right. Y'all, we still at 427. I'm not mad at that number at all. We have 1,442.9 viewing hours. That is cumulative. I think the actual viewing hours, I don't know how they separate the two, but I think that's a little under 1,000. But what I learned is that this number that I look up when I go into analytics is, oh, thank you, Joan, is the number that YouTube actually goes by. So that's the number that I give to you all. Okay, we changed up the lineup just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead on and get the health and the weight updates out of the way. Of course, y'all know I had broken it down to 4 categories. My weight, which is back up to 321, but it's okay. It's okay. I have consumed a lot more fluid because I felt the need to drink a lot more water to help flush that Pepsi out. Am I going to do that again? Well, I got a 20-ounce waiting for me in the refrigerator. I do. Will I be drinking it today? I will. And I will also be drinking a Red Bull. I have a lot to do today, y'all. I do. And I don't want to nap. I plan on going to bed earlier tonight. That I can tell you. Because I know that I'm going to be tired. I have a lot to do. I've been doing a lot this morning. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have cleared some things off my bed. So I'm getting my bed back. And I have really been working on some things. And the ideas in my head, I've written a lot of things down. And then things, of course, that come up. And yeah, it's a lot going on up in here. And I've been putting a lot of that into place. So, yes. Now, my mood for today. I'm happy. I'm upbeat. I'm perky. It's not a mask today. It's real. My mental is in a good place. So, yeah, my mood is up there. As far as physical body, how it feels, got to give that a strong 9. I feel really good. So overall, to give myself or to rate myself for today, I rate me at a 9. I'm really, really good today. And it's not, those numbers are starting to come a little more frequently. I'm hoping that will start being the norm. As long as I feel like this, I'm good. I still got a little bit of going on with the throat. And I know that was from singing real hard Sunday. It'll probably take me a few weeks to get that completely settled. But yeah. And this is not only for Joan, but I know she's going to want to hear this. So, with my surgery coming up December 29th, you all know that I have to quit smoking 30 days prior and can't smoke for 30 days after. Here lately, when my cigarettes have been purchased, they've been purchased by the carton. And I told myself when I finish this carton, that was going to be it until, at least until after the restriction date. So I am down to 3 packs. Yep, I am down. Do I have? No. Choir was one time. The choir was one time. We did 2 rehearsals, and then we call it the performance, because what they got. See, okay, the thing is this. This is a church that I used to belong to. This is. I read your next comment, Joan. But when I left this church, I had valid reasons. I still have valid reasons for not going back. When my mother passed, this is the church that made all of the promises of checking up on us, letting us know that we could reach out to them if we needed them. Whatever we needed, they would be there. The pastor at the time, the acting pastor at that time, would be at our house like he thought it was home. I mean, he was there all the time. He would come all the way from Virginia Beach to the house. The secretary lived right around the corner one way, and one of the trustees, or the head trustee, lived right around the corner the other way. So there were people who were close by. Y'all, when I tell you none of these people came to check up on us, none of these people came by. The house phone number stayed the same until we left the house, which was that we had that phone number for 44 years. For 44 years, we had that number. And they never called, nothing. And a year after my mom passed, I posted a letter on Facebook. I was very respectful, and I just put it out there that I did not appreciate the fact that those promises were made, especially in the building that they were made in. And I hold churches to high standards. I do. And for them to make those kind of promises and hugs and all this other stuff and then not follow through. But you can call my daughter and act like my daughter didn't have a mother. Act like my daughter didn't have a sister. Act like my daughter didn't have a brother. And it's no jealousy. I just think that it's a lot of disconnect and a lot of disrespect. And when I feel disrespected, shunned, blackballed, or whatever, I will excuse myself from the situation. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to deter my faith. I'm not going to, none of those things. I just don't have to be in your little space for that to happen. Exactly, Joan. Because that's all we really have. That's all we really have is our word. So I left the church in 2020. My daughter left the church in 2022. She was the choir director. And y'all, this was really weird. They were paying the pianist like $500 a month. He lived maybe 10 minutes away from the church. He was always out in that area. He never would show up for rehearsals, but they were giving him $500 a month. Sometimes he didn't even show up for service or for performances. So we always practiced our music a cappella so that we'd be able to perform it a cappella if we had to. We were always prepared. And more often we had to sing a cappella than not because he wasn't there. but he would still get his checks every month. My daughter, the choir director, the one who had to whip these voices into shape and who was driving 30 minutes to and from, and oftentimes, well, every time, the choir rehearsals were at night, so she had to be out there on the road by herself at night, traveling to choir rehearsal, rehearse for an hour 15 minutes, and then drive back home by herself, knowing she had MS, knowing she had lupus, and you give her $125 a month. You're not accounting for her gas. You're not accounting for her skills. You're not accounting for anything. So when my mom was alive, she fought for that. And actually, before my mom passed away, it was $100. And my mom fought for it. They took it up to $125. After my mom passed, the person who made himself in charge of that started talking about taking it back down to $100. And my daughter tithes. So she's doing her duty in the church as well. Okay. When my daughter realized that this was happening and things were not getting any better, she wrote them a letter and said that she was going to have to excuse herself as choir director. And she stopped going to that church. We go to church elsewhere. When they called her and asked her about performing for church anniversary, she said, and the lady told her, she was like, we're going to get the old choir back together and yada, yada, yada. And my daughter said, okay, I can do that. First rehearsal we had, the people that showed up for choir rehearsal were not the people that Nikki wanted to direct. As a matter of fact, these were the daughters of the person that asked her to come back. They had a choir there once. No shade. It's just that they're very strong-minded individuals and they want to do what they want to do. And when you're under a director, you don't come across good. You don't sound top-notch if you don't follow your director, if you don't follow directions. So my daughter was ready to walk away and quit then. And I told her, I said, you know what, you committed to this. You committed to this. One more rehearsal, the church service, and it's done. When we went back last Saturday, none of the daughters were there. The old choir members were back. The whole mood was different. It felt good. We were all, happy and getting along and everything. We rehearsed 7 songs. 7. The program called for 6, but they always ask us to sing one more. So we rehearsed 7. The day of service, they asked the choir to sing 11 songs. Y'all, we gave them a concert. We gave them a whole concert. Yes. So yes, the voice is tired and it's going to sound like just tired. I said all of that to say that. Yes, I did. And I did it before 12:15. Woo. Way to go, Kittee. Okay, which turns me all the way over. Kind of segue if you go back to the beginning of the story, because I was talking about my Pepsi and the fact that I was going to drink my Red Bull today. But I also have my water, guys. Yes, I have my water. And I have my 20 ounces of espresso. I needed the espresso today. I do have my pinch of salt and my drizzle of vanilla to take the bite off. My daughter went to the store last night and bought creamer. I cannot tell you the blend of creamer that I have in here. I can tell you that I have 12 ounces, though, because I have, I think it's called Sweet Creamery. I have that. I have French vanilla. I have Cinnabon. And I have caramel macchiato. I haven't even taken a sip of it yet. I wanted to share this sip with you all. Now, my face contorts. We know that I'm not going to do that combination again. If it goes, then that means it was really hot. And it is. I heat my creamer on the stove. We go straight from Keurig stove into the cup. And it's insulated. Okay, it's hot, but it's good. It's good. I sucked a little more than I should have. I did. This is good. This is, oh my goodness. Y'all, this is really good. This is really, really good. Wow, I was concerned because I went 2 more ounces with the creamer. And I was concerned that it was going to cut the coffee. You know, if it did, it didn't in taste. I can still taste my coffee real strong. Oh my goodness. Y'all, this tastes like a treat. It does. This tastes like dessert. That's good, y'all. Oh my goodness. Stay over there. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go to not finished objects. We're going to go to future plans. Taco Tuesdays. Why do I push Taco Tuesday so much? Because I, for one, am scatterbrained. Taco Tuesday helps bring me back into focus because it gives me something that I'm not working on, that I'm not surrounded to do quick and fast and get it out of the way. And that usually helps me to bring things back in. Also, I hear that a lot of people suffer from Crojo. It's a good way to get back into it. It's a good way for beginners to start because it gives you something to start with. You want to make a hat? Well, you have ideas. Like the items, the challenges for this week are, of course, pick a whip, any whip, and complete it. That's standing until the end of the season, which is going to be, I believe, in February, when Boggy Creek blankets are actually delivered. And then there was the seasonal or holiday hat and scarf set. Of course, not everybody celebrates Christmas. Not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. Not everybody celebrates Hanukkah. Not everybody celebrates Kwanzaa. So for whatever you celebrate, or you can do the seasonal. It's still fall, and we're coming up on winter. So you have options there. You can do the hat and scarf in pretty seasonal colors, like wintry. When I think of winter, I think of light blues, like pale yellows and white. I think of snowy, or I think of brisk. And when I see those colors, I think cold. So, you think about it. When you get cold, your lips turn blue. Your fingers turn blue. That's just before frostbite. But I'm sorry, but that's what I think about when I see those colors. So, you can do something along that color line or that theme. The third challenge, of course, was a variegated make. This is where I show you the first whip. So I decided that I was going to do that challenge. This is actually going to be a triple beat because it's going to cover 3 things. This is going to be my variegated make. And I know it's a granny square. And yes, I detest granny squares. But they come in handy for a lot of things that we do. They're quick, they're easy, they're diverse, but yes, they come in, they're really, really good. Yes, I did. Just make a slip stitch. Okay. So what this is going to be, maybe I should tell you the next challenge. The next challenge is make a small vintage piece. This is going to be for a small person. which leads me to the next challenge, which is make a make for a friend, as a gift for a friend. Y'all, I'm making my granddaughter a granny square vest in variegated yarn. All the cutesy little colors that she likes. Now, I also know that this is going to lead to me having to make a second vest, because when my grandson sees it, he's going to want one. And I don't have blue here. So I'm going to have to purchase some blue yarn for my grandson. But this is one thing that I'm working on. And it covers 3 of the items that we are doing for Boggy Creek. It's the gift for a friend. It's a small vintage make. And it's the variegated yarn. As far as the whip, actually, I had started a whip the night before. And I'm only doing a few rounds a day because it's no hurry to get it to the person. This is going to be a ruffle hat. This is going to be a ruffle hat. It's for a very petite lady. She's really, really sweet, works over at Walmart. And my daughter actually suggested this. My daughter wanted me to make this for her. And when she told me who it was, I put everything down, snatched this up, and started it right away. The lady is really, really, really sweet. I can't say anything else, but she's sweet. Guys, she has a very distinct accent, but I don't know, what the accent is or where it's from. And she speaks broken English, but it's not Spanish, it's not French, but she's really sweet. She's really sweet. She has calmed my daughter down in a lot of situations where she needed assistance in staying calm, and she has opened up her register just for my daughter. I don't get more than 15 items, so I always go to the self-checkout. But, my daughter will go through and get baskets of groceries. So she always looks out for my daughter. So this is going to be for her. The things that I'm showing you are things that I will be working on today, which is why I need to stay up, because I want to at least get both panels of this done. I want to finish the hat. And the other item that's being worked on today that I got back on last night, if you can see, the sleeve is longer. It really doesn't look like you did a lot, Kittee. Well, consider the fact that I took it out all the way back to the first round, and then I redid all of this. And the reason I did that is because I was doing the sleeve in the round, so you couldn't see the same definition that you see in the rest of the sweater. And I didn't like the way it was looking. What am I doing here? Wait. Hold on. I have a mess. Okay, this is the sweater for you all that haven't seen it. It's got 5 panels. And as of right now, it's got half of a purple sleeve. As a matter of fact, I can show you. It's probably like 3/4. I keep forgetting I'm short. So that's where the sleeve comes down to. And I only have a little more to add to the sleeve. It's going to be a little puffy. I am decreasing by 1 every other round. I'm down to 65 a round. I'm going to start decreasing every round here so that it's not super puffy. I don't want it quite this puffy, but I do want it a little extra. And then I'm going to do the ribbing. I was going to do the ribbing with the thumb opening, but I am picky. You are so right. I am. I admit it. But I'm just lost something. Oh, here it is. Okay, y'all, I got some goodies to show y'all a little later. Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, I'm going to, but I have to be picky. It's for me. It's for me. And if I'm not picky for me, who else is going to be? Well, you would be, and Michelle would be, and my babies would be. Okay, well, I just surround myself by picky people. Okay. Y'all lie too. But yes, this is going to be my sweater. This is, I think, and I know that this one will be completed before the purple sweater because this is on a time frame. The purple one isn't. My goal is to have this finished, of course, by midnight of December 1st, Eastern time. And my purple sweater by Christmas. So still before the end of the year. I don't even have the purple sweater up here, so I can't show it to you. Like I said, I was cleaning off my bed and I'm surrounding my stuff with stuff that I have to have done like now. So that was putting Taco Tuesday and whips together. So I kind of sedged those two in there together. Okay, challenges. I just showed you the Just For Me cardigan. And don't forget, there is still time, guys. There is still time. If I was working on this only or this and only one other project, maybe even a couple more, but I did the panels in no time. The sleeve that I worked on yesterday, I wasn't even sitting here consistently working on it. I was working on it as I could. So I would probably say that I only put maybe 3 hours into my sleeve. And I got that done. And it was today. I know I'll finish this sleeve today. And I'm going to get started on the other sleeve. I want to get the other sleeve finished today as well. May not. But I have them. I showed them to you in order of what's going to be done. I'm going to get the front and back panel done to my grandbaby's vest. And then I'm going to finish the ruffle hat. And if I have time, I'm going to get on this sweater. But that's what I'm hoping that I'm going to start doing, only pulling out 3 projects a day. I know that I get bored very easily. So that's why I pick more than one. So that's what I'm going to do. The rules for the Just For Me challenge is that it has to be a cardigan. It has to have ribbing. And it has to be done in panels. And the completion date is midnight, December 1st, Eastern time, where you can post your pictures. I have my email address in the description box. I was on it today, y'all. I'm telling you. So you can drop the pictures off there. And I have to tell you that this idea was originated by Marsha Lee, who we all know as Blind Stitches Creates. This was her baby. She said she wanted to collab with me. I jumped on board right away. Joan is in it with us. Lori is in it with us. Lori of Lori Stories and Crochet. So I'm interested to see these cardigans. I am. I'm excited about that. The other challenge is I renamed it to the 10 and 30, and that's the dishcloth challenge, which will start, I think, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, November 1st. And what it is making one dishcloth every 3 days. So guys, like I make mine, and they have to be at least 8 inches and have to be made of cotton. I crochet 40 chain stitches across. I use a 5.0 hook, H. And when I do half double crochet, I do 35 rows. When I do when I do is it 35? Yeah, when I do half double crochet, it's 35 rows. When I do single crochet, it's 40, I think it's 40, it's either 40 rows or 42 rows. But either way, they just have to be at least 8 inches. I prefer single crochet or half double crochet as we use them for washcloths, and the less holes they have in them, the better. I have done a lot with the moss stitch. I have also done, especially for like wiping things down, the double crochet. You can do puffs, whatever design you want to use, whatever stitch you want to use. is totally up to you. It just has to be at least 8 inches, and it has to be done in cotton. And it's one every 3 days. So by November 30th, you should have 10 of them done. Easy peasy. Then the next challenge is what I have named Sweet Dreams. The December challenge, which is the 4 pillows. Ooh, that's it, 4 blankets. But it's 4 pillows, any style, any design, any stitch, any yarn. But the only thing, it has to be at least 6 inches at the smallest point. Yeah, 6 inches at the smallest point. And the way to get 4 done, guys, 1 a week. 1 a week. You can do the neck rolls. You can do the little padded pillows that you rest your elbows on. You can do a head pillow. For stuffing, guys, you don't have to go out and buy stuffing. If you're doing your winterizing to your home and you are switching your clothes out and decide that they're clothes that you don't want, you can use old t-shirts. You can use anything to do the stuffing for the pillow. You can take existing pillows and make covers for them. I used to have the little pillows on display. Mine were actually 5x5s. But I worked at a hotel, and when they were throwing their washcloths away, I would take the washcloths and I used those to stuff the pillows, so I could put, the different types of pillows that I made on display. It worked. It worked. You can make the accent pillows, whatever. Eventually, I am going to make a huge tuft, because my daughter likes to come in the room and sit with me. We don't smoke all over the house. We have certain areas. So she likes to come in and sit with me and tell me about her day. And I don't like to see her sit on the floor, because she has a lot of back problems as well. So my plan is to make this huge tuft. My bedroom is generally lavender and aqua. So I'll probably stick with those 2 colors, because it's going to be for my room, so that she'll have some place to sit when she comes in. And I am going to be using everything that we can find to stuff it with. I told her, don't throw away the kids' clothes. Don't throw away her clothes. And these are clothing that we would throw away. These are like my daughter and I have close-built thighs. So the insides of our pants just like disintegrate for some reason. So we'll be using things like that, raggedy t-shirts, underclothes that we wouldn't give away to anybody. They're clean, but they've just done everything that they were supposed to do. So all of these things we'll use as fillers. I plan to get a box, and all of we got so many, y'all. When I tell y'all we got plastic bags, I plan to fill a box with plastic bags, and then I'm going to pack around that box so that it'll have some sort of structure. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the plans that be coming up in my head. Another future project. I think I asked you all and even went over with you all Tuesday about a temperature project. And what I call it is a temperature or celebration make, because it doesn't have to be your traditional temperature blanket. And prime example, I am going to make 2. No, they're not. I can't tell y'all that story, because it's a story behind the cakey. Y'all, sometimes you have to let people go when they show you who they are. And that's a decision. That's all I can tell you about that. But I plan on making 2 blankets next year. I have not decided what my temperature blanket is going to be like. I do know that I actually want to follow the tradition of every day of that year. One of the reasons I want to do that, because it'll be our 5th year here for one. We have just completed our 5th year here. So we're going into the next 5-year session. We usually make 5-year plans. And also at the end of next year, I will be 63. So my celebration blanket is going to be more like a birthday blanket. I'm going to go back to 1963. Yep, that's why. I will be 63 in 2026, and I was born in 63. So I will have 63 squares. Going back to 1963, it'll all be done in single crochet. What I'm trying to decide is if I want to do the high and the low, or just the high, or just the low, or the average for December 2nd of that year. I am also going to either crochet or cross stitch the year into each square. I was going to put the squares in order, but I'm going to get all of the squares done first, and I'm going to put them in random order. I will have 9 squares in each column and 7 columns across. So I'll have my 63, and it'll probably be finished by mid-July of 2027. And that's fine, but yeah, because I have to wait until December 2nd of next year to see what the temperature is going to be and how I'm going to do it. That's the same thing with the temperature blanket. I have not figured out my layout. I kind of like the strips idea, but I know that I'm not going to like sewing them all together. But I can crochet them as I go. So I was thinking about that too. I have taken the time to, I think I balled a piece of paper up and threw it away. So I have to do it again. I took the time to figure out what grid I wanted to follow, meaning my legend, how I want to do my temperatures. Most people follow the 10 degree, like 90 to 100. Well, 91 to 100, 81 to 90, 71 to 80, so forth and so on. I think I did mine by every 20 degrees because I know my birthday blanket is already going to be kind of limited in color because I'm only using December 2nd as a date. And I have colorful blankets. This purple beauty behind me, I made that for myself in 2022, and I packed it down because I didn't finish it. It's still not finished, but it is finished. That was my Tunisian crochet project. I sewed everything together and put a border around it, and then I decided I wanted to put a topper on it. I wanted to put my name on it. Put my name on it. And the name part didn't happen. I pulled it out as we were shifting some things around, and I decided I wanted to use it. So, got myself another blanket. But no, that wasn't a temperature blanket. I was intending to pull one so that I could show you what a possible temperature blanket layout. I did 2 of them the same way. I did one for my nephew and one for my granddaughter. And I could show you at least one of them Saturday, hopefully. But there's so many possibilities. You can do the Catherine's wheel. I thought about possibly doing that, and every day do the wheel according to that day's temperature. But the Catherine's wheel is very detailed. Some people might not want to do that. I thought about the star stitch. I thought about, and that way you can really control what you're doing because you know that you have 365 components to work with. And how you put those 365 components together is up to you. The way I did my daughters and my nephews, we had three panels, and there were 4 months in each panel. So of course, January having 31 days, February had 28, so I had to use my border color to put in those other 3 days. March, 31 days, April had 30. I had to use my border color to say there wasn't a 31st day. And then of course I did my second panel and I just crocheted that whole panel. And when it came to the second one, I did the same thing with the third. And then I just sewed the 3 panels together and put a border around it. With my grandbaby, I did put a topper on hers and I put her nickname up there. So she has her name on hers. My nephew's has his name on his. It has his YouTube name up there, Corey on TV. My nephew, you hear me talk about him a lot. He's a news reporter in New York. Yes, I'm so proud of him. He was nominated. I forgot what the award was, but it's a big deal, and he was nominated. Yeah. I have a celebrity nephew, y'all. Now for the fun stuff. Guys. Okay, before we get into that, I have to tell you this because I want to leave you with smiley stuff. Quick lesson. If someone is choking around you, because I went through this last week and nobody heard me as I was trying to call out for help. If you see someone choking, if they can speak, if they can cough, if you can hear them getting any kind of air in, you do nothing. You do nothing. Please do not hit them in the back. Please do not attempt the Heimlich maneuver because they feel like they're choking at that moment, and what they're going through is very, very uncomfortable, and it may even be a little painful. But as long as they can cough, they have the possibility of dislodging it themselves. If you do anything, you run the risk of making them choke for real or cutting off their airway. So, with that being said, if they are legitimately choking and air is not getting in, you feel them or hear them, even if it's the little shrieks, but you know that they're not getting sufficient air in. If you have 2 people, the Heimlich maneuver can be done with 1 or 2 people. This first person, you start here under that mandible bone. Do not start at the neck. Start up here, and you're actually going under the tongue with that, and you massage down to the trachea, because you may be able to coax what it is down. As the first person is doing this, the second person is going behind that person, and you're going to clasp your hands together, sticking out a thumb. So that thumb is going to stick out. The area between the sternum, which is in your hand there, and you want to push in and up, not to pull them through you, but to try to dislodge whatever's in there. So it's a quick, swift in-up motion, in and up. You want to do it twice to see if it dislodges. Give it a second and do it 2 more times. Usually it will dislodge. If it's a child or an infant, I have experienced this 3 times. You want to grab that child and you want to throw them over your arms so that their head is hanging lower than the rest of their body. And you want to hit them right in the center of the back, right between what would be the breastbone on the front. And you want to do it and kind of push up. You're not trying to break that child's back, but you have them upside down so that that slap on the back or that thrust on the back will help dislodge. When I was in college, when I was 19 years old and I was in carpentry, there were only 2 females in the class. Other females missing most of the time. One afternoon, one of the guys were taking 3 of us home. He stopped to let the one guy, Archie, off, and his nieces were outside playing with some more neighborhood kids. One of his nieces looked weird. I don't know how to describe it any other way, but I realized that she was choking because she was standing there like, like she was shocked but couldn't move. And instinctually, I ran over and I grabbed her and did the same thing that I told you all to do. Candy came running out of her mouth. It looked like a little red hot or something. And it came rolling out of her mouth. Her mom came outside. All she saw me do was hit the baby in the back, and immediately she wanted to fight me. Her boyfriend got the gist of what was going on. And of course, long story short, we all became really good friends. The little girl, I heard from her, and that's what sparked this. I heard from this little girl Sunday. Every now and then, well, not little girl, she's a grown lady. Bless her heart. She is 47 years old now. She's not a little girl. But she's doing well. She's married. She has kids of her own. She even has a grandson. And every time she calls me, she reminds me of that. She still remembers it. And that's, like I said, it's what sparked me to talk to you all about this. The second incident that happened, I was at Pizza Hut with my husband and my daughter, my oldest daughter, and I was pregnant with my son. And my daughter was sitting beside my husband, and she started choking. And I was very pregnant. I could not pick her up and throw her across my arm. So if you know someone who's pregnant and they need to do this, tell them it's very possible to do it. Because I picked my baby up and I wrapped her legs around me. She was upside down. I got down in like a squatting position, and I hit her back. And the peppermint just went rolling across the floor. So, I think what I'm saying to everybody is be mindful of what's around you. And this is just another little nugget to help you to discern what to do if you want to become involved, if you want to help somebody, if you want to be there. And I understand those people who don't, because just like the little girl's mama came out the house and wanted to fight me right away, I wasn't expecting that kind of, I don't know what reaction I was expecting. I understand it. I understood it then, but I wasn't expecting it, and sometimes you can get legal things to happen. The last time I helped someone in that situation, that's what happened to me. The lady had gotten in an accident, and she was eating, and she got a chicken bone stuck in her throat. And I helped her get it out. I had to do that without really moving her from the car. And it was not determined whether her back injury was from helping to clear her airway or the accident itself. And they tried to pull me in legally. Fortunately, at the time, I still had my certification for being a CNA, so that helped a lot. But I'm just saying, life-saving measures are just that. You can't predict what the other person is going to get out of it, how they'll respond to it. But 9 times out of 10, people are grateful when you save their lives. The times that it has happened to me, I am grateful. And it's something that many of us go through. We never know what's going to happen, but inadvertently, at some point in our lives, we choke on something. I'm notorious for swallowing stuff and it going down the wrong way. That's what happened to me week before last. The whole mouthful went down the windpipe, and and I'm here gagging and trying to the point that I'm crying, and fluid is coming from everywhere except back out of my windpipe, and then it goes straight into my lungs. So I'm literally sitting here drowning, but I'm here. That's the biggest thing, and it's all good. But that's the little nugget I wanted to leave with. Now, for the lusciousness, for the cuteness, y'all, I got a package in the mail yesterday from my yarn angel. Yes, I did. I did get an email notification saying that something was coming, but I had no idea, y'all. I had no idea. So I'll show you this first, because I've actually worked with this before and I still don't know. It says Simb hand knitting yarn, Cool hand wash, cool iron, do not bleach. Dry cleanable, do not tumble dry. Keep away from naked flame. It's 100% wool. Yeah. It is 50 grams, 196 yards. I'm trying to see, and I can look at it, y'all, and tell. This is like a thick one. I don't know if you can really see that. It's not quite a 2, but it is thicker than a 1. Talk about soft and squish. Well, I'm going to get to see just how soft and squish it is. I'm just saying. I didn't buy these. I promise you I didn't buy these. I promise you. I triple promise you. I can show you the fact that I have to hide the name of who it came from. But this came in the mail yesterday. This was a package that came to me yesterday, and I would not be mailing myself. It costs too much to send a package. I'm not mailing myself. So yes, I got these 4 beautiful babies, and that was not it. You saw how big the package was. Come on, man. That was not all that came in that bag. So then I pulled out this. Y'all, I looked at this at night in the dark, and all I could see was purple. But babies, this is like maroon and purple. I don't know if you can really see that. Can you guys see that? Let's see if I hold it under the light. Will that help? I don't know what I'm doing when I stick. Can you see that? I'm looking at the TV, and I'm waiting for the TV to catch up with what I'm showing you. Okay, the light doesn't help. So, but I think you can see like the little red specks throughout it. It's like maroon and purple and blue. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's soft. I got one of these. And then I got 8 of these. So I got to figure out how to do these together. I have 9 donuts. 9 that I can play with and figure out what to do. Oh my goodness. Okay. So like I said, I got this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one that I started playing with last night. That's why I say I did so much on my sleeve, because I had to play with it a little bit. So yes, I got that done. And wait a minute, there's more. I want to. There was one more item in the bag. And I have always said to y'all, when I grow up, I'm going to get me some bougie yarn. Y'all, I got my first hank. Oh my goodness. It is 100% cashmere. 125 meters. It says it calls for a 7. I'm not seeing a 7. Maybe they mean a number 7 like a G. Because this to me looks like a 4.5 or 5.0. It does say it's worsted. Y'all, this is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. I have my bed. I don't even want to use it. I don't. I want to get a board and hang it, because I've never had a hank before. This is 56 years of crocheting, and I've never had a hank before. This is my very first hank. So whenever I do decide to use this, I have an idea of what I'm going to do, what it's going to make, and who that make is going to. I do. I do. So thank you, Yarn Angel. I so much appreciate you. I really do. Oh, I had to leave y'all with that. That's why I feel so good today. I'm telling you. And yes, I am going to be busy, but I have my plans laid out for today. I do want to remind you all to please spend 30 minutes a day organizing. I don't care what it is you're organizing. It could be your sock drawer. My granddaughter has to do that 1 day a week because when we fold clothes, of course, we can never find matches to socks and the clothing that come out of the machine. So she just takes her socks and throws them in the drawer. Her drawers are the cloth bins that I have. That's what their drawers are. Hers is overfilled. I went through 1 day last week and I put pairs together and I was able to get 13 pairs before I stopped trying. I just got to a point I was like, and it made it go down from this to this. So I told her every week she has to go in and pair out at least 10 pair of socks. So, yeah. So like I said, it can be socks. It can be your underwear. It can be your shirts drawer. It can be your yarn. It can be your notions. It can be your pots and pans, your dishes. You can reorganize your refrigerator. It just gives you, number one, there are a lot of us in this community who struggle with mobility. And this is something very light and simple. Are you hearing me, Joan? Very light and simple. I'm not telling y'all to go out and cut trees, okay? But this is something very light and simple that you can do to maintain your mobility, okay? And I hope Sam is listening because I said we were going to do this together, Sam, and I meant it. Light and simple, not just sitting and crocheting, getting up. I do things like every Wednesday, I clean my sink and my toilet. And that's like a 10-15 minute job. But what I've started doing is, don't ask me what I'm talking about. You know full well what I'm talking about, Joan. Yes, sister dear, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I have started rearranging things. I'll take, everything off the sink now. Instead of just cleaning the sink and the fixtures, I'll take everything off the sink, make sure it goes back, rearrange it a little bit to make it look a little different. So every week I have a different look in there. I only have 3 things on the back of my toilet. So there's not too much rearranging I can do there, but I make sure that I take those things off. I dust the handicap bar behind the toilet. I turn it into a 30-minute session. If my legs are bothering me and I can't stand up, I do have a chair in my bathroom that I can use and I can get those things done. Yes, you, Joan. So it still helps me with my mobility. The first dishwashing that I do in the mornings, most mornings here lately, I've been able to do standing up. This morning, I had already done a lot before I even got to the kitchen. So I just immediately went head on and pulled the chair over. But prior to me sitting down, I had to ready the Keurig. I had to get the creamer out and get it measured out and poured into the container. There was a lot that I had to do before, I got to the point of washing dishes, but then I was able to sit down and get the dishes washed. And yeah, so what I'm doing for me is like every couple of hours or so, I will get up and give myself a little 30-minute session. If it's an hour, then okay. But after every hour, I mean, I'll do 45 minutes of work and then 15 minutes of getting everything straight. It sounds like you won't get a lot done, but that helps me focus as well, because I'm like, hey, I don't have but 45 minutes to knock this out. And I'll sit there and I'll concentrate on that particular task, even if it's making out my itinerary for our lives. So yes, 30 minutes a day is what I'm asking you to commit to. Don't forget to pick up your notebooks, because we will be doing journaling next year. And we're going to do the very simplest form of it. You'll be making 10 entries a day. You'll be making 11 sometimes, because you're going to put your date. You're going to put your mood in the morning, your mood in the evening, your overall health in the morning, overall health in the evening. You're going to write down 3 things that you got accomplished for that day, and you're going to list 2 people that you're going to contact in that day, or that you contacted that day out of the norm. I don't care if you did anything but just sent a text that said hi, or thinking about you, or a heart emoji, or anything. You just reached out to someone that you normally don't reach out to. We're becoming disconnected as a human race, guys. And what I would like to do in my little special way is help everybody reconnect. That's it. It could be a family member you haven't heard from in forever. Just call, hey, Uncle Jimmy, I just wanted to say hi. I hadn't heard your voice in a while. Just want to let you know that I love you and I do think about you. I'm not going to keep you. I got a lot to do, and I know you do too. But still, that can go a long way with the other person. And believe it or not, it'll help you feel lighter. It really, really will. And y'all know me. I'm all about love and light. Love and light. Yes. So, with everything that we've done today, I'm sorry I took you a couple of minutes over, but don't forget to meet me back here Saturday, 2:00 Eastern time for our next live. And we will be going over all the whips and all the FOs. And I'm sure that I'll have some. I better have some. You hear that, Kittee? You better have some. Okay, I got to have it done. And I'll be talking to you about what I got in my cup. We'll be discussing whatever I have on my hook at the time, and we'll just have a grand old time. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Don't forget to smash that like button, share the video. I love you all for leaving your comments. If you're catching it on replay, same thing. Please remember to hit that like. Leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Make sure you hit that bell, ding, ding, the one with the dimples, so that you always know when I'm here and dropping fresh new content. I love each and every one of you. Please don't forget to be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and behave. Remember, Kittee Lane told you. Remember, Kittee Lane loves you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.